Welcome to Codavo. So in this episode, we'll be solving a TCS NQT interview question. So this NQT question, National Qualifier Test Exam question, has been asked this month, September 2021, and it has been repeated several times it seems. So let us move on to the question. So the name of the question is wagon count. So in this question, we are given two inputs. Before getting into that, we'll get into the backstory. So the backstory is that we have an automotive manufacturer, and he manufactures two things, cars as well as bikes. So he has certain number of wheels with him. What we have to do is, with these amount of wheels and the total amount of vehicles that he is manufacturing is also given to us. This total number of vehicles includes cars as well as bikes. Okay, so what we have to find is, with the total amount of wheels and the total amount of vehicles that he manufactures, we should find how many cars and how many bikes can he manufacture. Okay, so total number of vehicles is given as well as the total number of wheels is given to us. We have to find with this information how many cars and how many bikes can be manufactured. That is our question. So let us get to the sample input. So in this case, we have the total number of vehicles as 200, and that is denoted by the variable name V. Okay, so V denoting the total number of vehicles. Okay, and W denoting the total number of wheels that he has at that instant. Okay, so our job is to find the total number of vehicles, that is specifically total number of cars that you would manufacture and total number of bikes you would manufacture. So cars how much, bikes how much, that is what we need to find. Okay, so with this information, let us find how do we do this. After reading this question, obviously we know this is similar to math word problems that we used to solve in our 8th grades and stuff. So this simple math problem, all we have to do is we have to form two equations relating these two values, and then we have to solve those two equations to find the values. Of course, simple solving equations part. So what we'll do is we'll solve this equation manually and then program that formula into our computers and make our computers program that. Okay, so easy part. Now let's get to the math. So x plus y is equal to v. Okay, so x denotes the total number of scooters or bikes that is manufactured, and y denotes the total number of cars that is being manufactured. Okay, so x is the count of bikes and y is the count of cars. When we add these two, we will get the total number of vehicles that is being manufactured, that is v, and that is given to us as input, and that is the first equation. We will move on to the second equation, which is the total number of wheels that we have. To manufacture a bike, we need two wheels, front wheel and the back wheel, of course. So 2x plus, to manufacture a car, we need 4 wheels, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So of course we need 4 wheels. So 4 into the total number of cars that we manufacture, 4y, which is equal to the total number of wheels that we have, which is in this case w. Okay, so 2x plus 4y is equal to w is the second equation. In the specific sample input that is being given to us, v is 200 and w is 540. So x plus y is equal to 200 and 2x plus 4y is equal to 540 would be the specific equations, but here we have the general equation. We'll solve the general equation. At last we'll get the formula, and then we'll use the general formula in our program. Now let's solve this code, of course. So with these two equations, obviously what we should do is we should find the value of x or y, and we substitute that value in the other equation, right? So let us say we find the value of y from the first equation. So x plus y is equal to v is the given equation. We are transposing x to the right hand side. So we are bringing x to the right hand side. So positive x will become negative x. So y is equal to v minus x, right? So now we have the value of y. What we'll do is we'll apply this value of v minus x in the second equation that we had. 2x plus 4y is equal to w. So instead of y, we are substituting v minus x. So we get 2x plus 4 into v minus x is equal to w, as you can see here. So obviously we have the terms x, v and w. Let's remove the brackets, and if you see, 2x plus 4v minus 4x is equal to w would be the equation, and 2x minus 4x would give us minus 2x, right? So 4v minus 2x is equal to w, and rearranging the stuff, 2x going here, w going here, we'll get 4v minus w is equal to 2x, and if 2x is equal to this much, then x would be obviously by 2 of what we had. So 4b minus w by 2 would give us the value of x, that is the number of bikes that we had. So summarizing all what he did till now is I've solved these two equations and I found the value of x. That is all I did. Okay, so this is the value of x that we have. So what we'll have is we'll have v and w given to us as input. So by applying those values in this formula, we get the value of x, that is the number of bikes that is being manufactured. If number of bikes that is being manufactured is x, so we can find the number of cars that is being manufactured just by doing v minus x. So what is v here? V is the total sum of vehicles, that is number of bikes plus number of cars. So we know number of bikes, so when we subtract v minus x, we get the value of y, which is number of cars. So after using this formula, all we should do is we should find v minus x, and that would give us the value of y. So this is the logic that we are going to use to solve this TCS NQT coding interview question. Such a simple problem. All we need to do is solve this mathematically and then apply that in the coding part. Okay, now let's move on to an IDE and code this logic. So here we are in an IDE. We have the main function with the values that is given to us as sample input, and the wagon count function has been called. So the two integers v and w are given to us input. But there is one more thing other than finding the value of x and y. That is to check the constraints. The first constraint is the number of wheels that we have should always be greater than the vehicle count. In order to manufacture, let us say, one bike, we need 2 wheels. So obviously wheels should be greater than the number of vehicles, right? And hence if number of wheels is less than the vehicle count, in that case that is of course wrong, invalid, and hence in that case we would print invalid input. Okay, and let's end it with an endl, and then we'll just exit out of this program, because if it is an invalid input, we should not continue what is there after this program, and hence let us give a return statement here, returning nothing, since we have a void function here. Okay, but this is not our only constraint. As I said, we have 3 constraints. This is our first constraint. The second constraint is that the total number of wheels should always be an even number. Why is that? Let us say we have an odd number. Our car needs 4 wheels, our bike needs 2 wheels. Both of them are even numbers. So if they have an odd number of wheels, it means at last one of the wheel would be the odd one out. It will not be attached to any of these vehicles, and hence in that case also we should return invalid input, because that is also not a valid input. What am I blabbering? The other constraint is the total number of wheels should not be less than 2, because the minimum thing that we could do is manufacture one bike, right? For one bike we need 2 wheels. So if the wheels is less than 2, we can't even manufacture one bike, and hence that should also return the invalid input. So w should always be greater than 2. So if it is less than 2, in that case they are printing invalid input and going out of this function. Okay, now that this part is over, we'll move on to the part where we actually solve this question if it is a valid input. So if it is invalid, the function is done here. If it is valid, now we'll move on to this part. So obviously we'll define a value called x, and that is declared as an integer. Okay, so the x would have the value. What is the formula that we saw? We saw the formula as 4 into v minus w divided by 2, right? That was the formula that we saw. So 4 into the number of vehicles minus w divided by 2 gave us the answer. So that is our value of x. Now we'll have the value of y. So what was y? Y was total number of vehicles that is given to us as input minus the value of x. Okay, so we have the value of x, we have the value of y. So the only thing that is rest for us to do is print this. Of course, since it is a void function, we are just printing it instead of returning it. So cout, let us print the value of x, and then we'll leave some space and then print the value of y with an endl. Okay, and that's it. Okay, oh crap. Okay, so we'll now run this program and verify our output. So for our input 200 and 540, what should be our output? I think our output would be, I forgot the actual output. Let us apply that into the formula and find out the output. So V is 200, so 4 into 200 is 800. So 800 minus 540, 540 by 2. So I think the answer is 130 and 70. Now let's run this program and verify that output. So we have got the output as 130 and 70. So that is the answer to this question, and here is your code. So let us move on to the try session. So if we pass in the values 10 and 19 to the function that we just completed, the number of vehicles as 10 and the total number of wheels as 19, what would be the output? Let me know your answers in the comment section below. If you love this video, please drop a like and comment down below if you have any questions. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button. We'll see you in the next episode of Daily Dose. Until then, bye bye.